Okay, now I remember. You need to download this. The only thing from in here that you need is this Havoc FBX importer separate download. And this top one here. Have it for Blender direct download here. Scroll all the way down so you get to setting up the Blender add-on. This is the middle one here, under Space Engineers 7.0.zip. Now the only thing you're going to unpack is the importer. But before we do that, we're going to go and copy the SDK. The latest version. Browse local files. And go up the folder here to common. Copy that sucker. Okay, now we're going to go to the desktop. Then I'm going to paste it out here, right here. Okay, there it goes. Computer must be lagging. This is a repository for models. If you want to use them as well as a guide for creating, I guess, the shape of something maybe. Or I suppose you could use these for small blocks. You'd have to get the scale down low enough to be able to do large blocks using them, but that's difficult because when they're loaded back into Blender from their original FBX state, they're scaled down. So you can't scale them down again 100 times. You can only scale them down 10 times. So any of the FBXs you can use to make more small blocks, but if you want to make large blocks, you're going to have to create your own blocks. I've learned that from the beginning. Other people are just starting to realize it and finding shortcuts in their own ways. I've done a few videos, maybe messed up, so my mess up is your gain. Take the exporter. Create a folder on C called Blender Saves, if you haven't done so already. Drop that sucker in there. Take Havoc and Blender Space Engineers as the zip files and put them in there as the zip file. It's very important. Just like that. Now, unpack Havoc like this. And leave Blender Space Engineers zipped up. That's how you're going to load it into Blender. Go into Blender. Go to File. I just want to be sure to add when you're in this setup here that if you change anything in any of these tabs here, you need to go down here and save user settings. Because if you don't, then you'll come back on and it'll default back. You're going to need to go to add-ons from user settings, or sorry, user preferences. And user preferences, click on user, and you'll see it right there. For me, it would be like so, and for you, it would be like so if you hadn't already had it on your system already. But for me, I'm going to check it. We're now going to need to go and update back to the legacy version. Again, you do need Space Engineers in order for this to work. Just a part of the Blender add-on. I don't think that's right. Yeah, it is. It says right. As long as it says it's the 32-bit version, you have to wait on that to finish setting up Blender. In the meantime, you can grab the FBX importer. You also need to point the game directory to Space Engineers. Now it'll use this MWM builder, but that's not what you want, because we're not building for Space Engineers, we're building for Medieval Engineers. Since this mod SDK is done, we're gonna go in here. In Tool, MWM Builder. Oh, I had the wrong one. That was Model Builder. This is MWM Builder. They have MWMBuilder.exe. And that is that. Now, the very important fact here, may or may not need to press save user settings depending on if you want this to stay. So if you press that, it'll stay and it'll be there, you know, every time it starts up. However, if Steam updates one of your sockets, basically, for Blender, as long as you have Blender on your desktop, not in Steam, I believe that it will probably save the file. But if you put it into the add-ons folder on Steam, when it updates and gives you a clean install, it'll erase all of your add-ons, sadly. So try not to keep them where they can be deleted by Steam. Be aware of that too as well. Now Blender is ready to create.